Welcome to Sidewalk Talk. I'm Maria Batt, Director on Client Relations and Design for Shovel the Sidewalk. We're a small marketing firm in Buffalo, New York, building brands for small businesses and pushing their message out there through authentic storytelling. And today, I'm super excited. We have with us Chef Mike Andrzejewski. I am well aware of him. If you live in Buffalo, you are too. He's had restaurants Tsunami, Mike A, Bourbon and Butter, C-Bar, and he's at Cantina Loco right now. Mike, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you for taking the time. I know things are insane. We're in a really weird new purgatory place right now. Just all kind of hanging around. So thanks for taking the time.
Well, we're just kind of going day by day and trying to make the best of a really bad situation.
So I thought we could start a little bit about your background for those of you who maybe don't know you. So how long have you been a chef in Buffalo for?
Oh, I've been a chef in Buffalo. Well, I've been working in restaurants. I started at Salvatore's Italian Gardens in 1976, so probably longer than most of you guys have been alive. And I've been cooking all my life, basically. It's really the only job I've ever had. I've worked in some really great places for some great restaurant owners and chefs that taught me a lot along the way.
What pushed you into being a chef?
I started off at Salvatore's as a busboy, and I was really, really bad at it. Just being in the dining room, I was obviously pretty klutzy and just wasn't very graceful out there. But I knew I really kind of liked the restaurant business and the excitement around it. So I asked Mr. Salvatore if he could go work in the kitchen instead. And he said that was probably a really good idea, and took me back there immediately to get me out of the dining room. And I knew immediately that that's what I wanted to do. And it's the only, like I said, the only job I've ever had.
And then, so where did you go after Salvatore's? You went to school?
No, I ended up going to Villa Maria College for a restaurant management course and a degree. I worked at a lot of different places that really kind of pushed me along the way. Some of the outstanding ones were Shepherd's Public House. The Rue Franklin was a huge influence on me. Joel and Dee Dee really kind of showed me the light, so to speak. I worked at Warren's for Mark and Sue out in Tonawanda when we were doing some really innovative stuff. Oliver's for about 10 plus years, and that was one of the biggest influences in my life as well.
Is the Oliver's where you started working with Ed Forrester? Is that where you guys started?
No, Ed started at Tsunami when he was about 17. He was just getting into the workforce and he wanted to find a job, so he showed up at our back door a couple of times and asked if he could come in and hang out and work, and we hired him. He worked with us for a little while, and then he went on to school, and he's turned out to be a lifelong friendship. I've got an amazing amount of respect for him, and he's one of the most talented people I've ever worked with.
Oh my God, he has this braised bone marrow that I dream about. It's so good. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on. Where the coronavirus has hit the hospitality industry probably harder than a lot of others. What are you guys doing? What are you doing with your staff? How are you guys staying open in some capacity?
Right now at Cantina Loco, we're really only doing takeout and the delivery services, Grubhub and DoorDash. We've had to lay off the majority of the staff. We've kept like kind of a skeleton crew. Myself and my wife are working, takeout and cooking and anything else that needs to be done. We've got a couple of people in the kitchen that are coming in and helping, and Kenzie, our loyal warrior takeout girl, is there plugging along with us.
And there's things that are probably changing every day. Are you guys getting new regulations? What do you have to do to be able to stay open?
It's been really, like you said, a day-to-day situation that, we just really kind of pay attention to the news and press releases, follow, the best directives from the health department that we can, sanitation and hygiene and everything else are such a big part of it. We're really trying to keep contact down to a minimum. It's just an ongoing thing, getting deliveries in and making sure that everything comes in properly is all just one challenge on top of another.
Yeah. And how are you seeing people? How are Buffalonians that are coming in? Are they in relatively good spirits? Are they super excited that you're offering margaritas and Mexican beer with your takeout?
One of the good parts of this thing is that I never thought I'd be able to see a day in New York State when we could hand drinks out the door and tell people to go, drop these off for your neighbors, walk down the street with them, just be careful. Um, we've really just kind of adapted as much as we could, trying to get as many things into our customers' hands as possible and try to have some fun with it. The people that have been coming have been absolutely amazing. Um, they've helped take care of the staff. They've been very generous with gratuities for our people. Um, People have dropped off, money for the kitchen staff to give a couple extra bucks in their pocket. I got a check in the mail from one of our customers that said, please use this towards your staff. It's pretty overwhelming, and I feel really kind of honored to be part of this community.
I saw that you're bringing some cult classics back, like the beef on Weck roll, which were probably sold out before you were even done rolling them. First of all, where did that come from? Did you work for like years and months perfecting that, or was that an I'm home at 4 a.m. and this is what I have in the refrigerator type of situation?
Um, that came back from, we started that at Tsunami. When we first started doing sushi, we did a very limited thing, but we did a lot of different dinners and wine dinners so we could experiment a little bit. And the story behind that, and this is pretty much 100% true, is we did a wine dinner one time, and I don't remember what wines we were featuring, but we had a bunch of different courses, and one course was a beef carpaccio. So we had all this scraps of pounded out beef left over, and another course had something with sushi rice and a sushi course. So at the end of the dinner, we took all the bottles of wine back in the kitchen. As we were cleaning up, we started drinking them, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're getting a little bit of a buzz on while we're scrubbing down the line, and got a little hungry. So I was grabbing a piece of the raw beef and scooping up some sushi rice. And my sous chef, Eddie O'Donnell, did the same thing. And then he kind of walked away, and he comes out of the cooler smiling like he just won the lottery or something with a cup full of horseradish and said, here, dip this in there. And we're looking at each other, and it's like, okay, this is something we're onto. In the next couple of days, we sort of perfected it into the role that it is, and it hasn't changed a bit since.
We came to C-Bar one of the last nights, and I got an order to go, and I literally rationed it and had like one for breakfast every morning as long as I as long as I could. So what other things are you thinking of bringing back? Because there's a lot of favorites out there. Maybe like a Cantina Loco style bao bun or crispy pig ear, perhaps.
The problem with those is the bao seam buns don't travel very well. You've
Yeah.
got like a kind of a 10-minute window to eat them, or else they get kind of sticky and cold and not great. I think I'm probably going to be doing a batch of the Thai coconut curry soup, which was a hugely popular thing. We'll have to see what else. I'm kind of leery about doing anything crazy seafood because of the traveling time. The delivery systems are not a great way to package raw fish. So we're working on a couple of things, and just trying to keep the best quality we can with what we've got to work with.
Yeah, how is this affecting your vendors? Because you guys are like very well noted for having incredibly fresh seafood and the best ingredients. How is this affecting that?
The people we work with are all like local companies, except for a couple of Hawaiian seafood distributors and people we would fly stuff in, but we're not doing that for the time being for a lot of reasons. But the local guys have been really struggling to keep the stuff that we need, and they've been doing a great job of it. So we're really kind of grateful that we've, for the most part, gotten everything we need. There's been a lot of adjustments as times and their delivery schedules are cut down, because of workforce and things like that. But I've got to really hand it to them. Everybody's done a big job, Buffalo job of pulling together through the whole thing.
The food community in Buffalo seems like it is so tightly woven together. I've seen you guys rally around from the Iron event to most recently the meal that you guys did for Dan Olis when he passed away. Are you guys working together? What are you doing to support each other?
There's quite a few different things going on that people are working on, but we're really just kind of helping each other out as much as possible. It's really kind of a amazing community here that we're all pretty tight, and some people have described it as almost incestuous, but um, it there's a lot of friendship there, and there's a lot of loyalty not only to each other but to the city in general. So we try to make sure that we're all kind of rising with the boat and tide.
How do you think this is going to affect the restaurant scene going forward? I mean, eventually we're going to get to the other side of who knows when the hell that's going to be. But what's your prediction for how things are going to change?
I shy away from giving any prediction. I don't really know. I'm kind of in the same boat as everybody else. The longer it lasts, the worse it's going to get. I have nightmares and staying awake late at night when thinking about what Buffalo looked like in the early 90s when everything was shuttered and
Yeah.
there's so many empty storefronts, and it's a really, really frightening thing. Hopefully, I know a lot of our elected officials are really pushing for some help from this, and I know Brian Higgins has been very involved in it, along with Senator Schumer has been really pushing for the big picture, not just a quick fix. Hopefully, the sooner we can get past it, the sooner we can recover, hopefully without too much collateral damage.
Aside from eating out, how else can our community support the hospitality industry?
Getting as much food as you can. Places that are selling gift certificates is a big help. We're doing T-shirts and different things like that instead. Um, I'm concerned that everybody is going to be in the same situation eventually. That where money's going to start running out because everybody's hours getting cut, everybody's incomes are being affected by this. Keep the long run in perspective. I mean, don't go out and spend all your disposable income in 1 week. Kind of help spread it out. The longer we can survive and on a shoestring before everything's cut off completely, the better. The biggest thing I can say is just be patient with people, with each other, with restaurant takeout people or delivery drivers. In general, it's been a very difficult week, and it's not going to get any better for the next couple. So hopefully we can, be civil to each other and take care of each other and help.
I think there's a lot of people that look up to you. There's a lot of chefs that have trained under you. What advice would you give them to just kind of keep going through all this? Because it's probably really easy to just shutter the doors and worry about it further down the line.
I don't know what's going to happen at the end of the week or the week after, but for the meantime, I'm really kind of looking at restaurants and what we're doing is a lot more than just giving somebody a meal. We're always such a big part of people's communities and lives, and every good, bad thing, you end up eating something somewhere. Right now, we're kind of like the last vestiges of luxury or even enjoyment. So it's more than just about money. It's more about, the bottom line. We're really trying to keep some happiness in people's lives. And I think it's really kind of one of the last lights that are still on that we can look forward to. So we're going to try and do the best job we can, put a smile on people's face as much as possible and kind of tough it out as we can.
There's some people that are probably cooking from at home for like the first time and forever. There's other people that bought a sous vide machine maybe 15 years ago and were like convinced that they were going to use it. So we all have a lot of time on our hands and we obviously can't eat out every day. What's a good place to start for people how would you push them to really start having fun in their kitchens?
Start with your skill level. Don't go crazy overboard thinking you're going to make a Michelin star meal. right away, you're going to get disappointed. You're going to get frustrated. Look for things that you'd like to eat. You're not going to find foie gras dashes or Gershio's, but you can find some pretty nice meats at Spars or one of the local places, and start off by pan grilling a really nice piece of meat and some great potatoes. Practice your knife skills. Make a pot of soup. Um, there's some really great websites out there and YouTube videos. Honestly, one of my favorite go-to sites is Martha Stewart. Her stuff is
Hmm.
flawless. Her recipes are tested. If they always work for me. Uh, keep interested in what you're doing. Read more about food. The more you learn, the better cook you're going to be.
So where, if you're not eating at Cantina Loco, which you're probably chained to that place for the foreseeable future right now, where else, if you're going to eat out right now, where would you go?
Lately, we've been going to Mythos on Elmwood we have breakfast a little later in the day, and I don't know, it's just sort of soul satisfying to have a couple of eggs and pancakes and
Mhm.
just enjoy that. We like JT's quite a bit. Jay's Artisan Pizza is phenomenal.
Oh my God, they're the best.
Yeah, there's a couple of phenomenal Asian places around in Kenmore and Tonawanda, just little mom and pop, Chinese places that are outstanding. Um, Marble and Rye have had everything, great sandwiches to fine dining meals there. So there's so much to offer in so many places that are doing stuff. Uh, Crave over on Hurdle has been
Hmm.
fantastic. They're doing some really good takeout. Um, there's a lot of places. So, support the people that have been helping our community for a long time, and try to do what we can.
So I thought we could wrap up with just some fun, like rapid fire questions.
Okay,
Um,
let me have a sip of coffee here, and
okay,
we'll go to town.
fuel up.
All right, let's have it.
Okay. What is your favorite thing to cook at home?
Soup.
Anyone in particular?
Classic grandma style chicken soup.
Yeah. What is like your kind of guilty pleasure food? Like your instant mashed potato, like dirty soup?
Ritz crackers.
Ritz crackers?
Love them.
What's your favorite music to listen to when you're cooking?
Generally, I have a pretty varied taste, but kind of classic rock to early punk, blues are probably the top ones.
What kind of knife do you have?
What kind?
Yeah,
Oh,
what's your
I've
favorite?
probably got about 30 of them. Everything from $1,000 Japanese sushi knives to utility, wooden handled beat up chef's knives that we use every day. My favorites are Makusta Asian style chef knife. I have a couple of Suisin slicing knives that I really like a lot, and just good utility, sharp, everyday knives.
Anthony Bourdain once said that he wished, above all else, that Americans understood that they had to let their meat sit before they cut into it. What's one thing that you wish everybody cooking at home knew?
The biggest thing, most important ingredient that anybody puts into anything is patience.
Hmm.
So I would say knife skills, being able to cut things the right way, to learn how to carve a steak the right way, how to debone a chicken. Start with a good, fresh ingredient and just learn to treat it respectfully. I mean, the basic stuff like pork chops and cutting out a pork loin, or trimming up a steak the right way would be probably make people's lives a lot better and a lot easier.
Who is another chef in Buffalo that's exciting you right now?
Oh
It's
man,
probably
there's
hard to
a lot of
narrow it down.
them. The guys at Prescott's Provisions, Chef Vinny,
Mm-hmm.
he's really doing some amazing food. Steve Gedra always has some crazy stuff. Marble and Rye, the guys over there are fantastic. Um, there's so many of them. I really like JT's over on Elmwood for just their homemade pasta dishes and, really classic stuff like that.
What's one food that you hate?
Cottage cheese and canned tuna.
Oh, canned tuna. I know. It's the worst when somebody
Why
brings
would you
it
do
up.
that with a piece of fish like that?
Oh, so something that I've always kind of like fantasized about that I feel like they should have, but they don't, are chef trading cards. Who would be a couple that would be in your deck?
Daniel Boulud, Paul Bocuse, Pierre Gagne, Guy Savoy, Thomas Keller, half the city of Chicago. Um, Alfred Portali would probably be one of my top ones. Originally a Buffalo guy, built the Gotham Bar and Grill to an icon of New York City restaurants. Recently opened his own place. Um, I've got a lot of cookbooks and a lot of heroes.
And last, what are you looking forward to when we're on the other side of this?
Um, I have this vision of having the patio open at Cantina, sidewalk style cafes all full, and people smiling and kind of saying, okay, we made it. Maybe we learn something about this, and let's really kind of cherish the restaurant culture that we have.
Jeff, thank you so much for taking the time. I really am fangirling and very excited that you're on today. I know you said that so many people's memories and good times are around food, and I know I have a lot of them in your restaurant. So thank you, and thank you for staying open. If anybody wants to try out Cantina Loco, it's on the corner of Elmwood and Allen. Definitely get a cocktail for not while you're driving and on your way home, but whenever you get to where you're getting to.
Yeah, I got an idea for a new promotion with those. If you got a neighbor you like or whatever, grab a couple or little cocktail kits and leave them on the doorstep, ring the doorbell, and run away. Like when you're a kid and left a flaming bag of whatever, but it's a little nicer. So if you like your neighbors, leave them a margarita.
I love it. So thank you. If anybody is interested in hearing more of our podcast, you can check them out on our website, shovelthesidewalk.com, or any place that you stream your podcast. If you have somebody that you think has an interesting story to tell, or there's something that you're dying to get out there, you can hop on our website, and on our Sidewalk Talk webpage, we have a form that you can fill out. Thank you for listening, and this has been Sidewalk Talk.